Hello everyone! The Mythic patch for Tacticus is live, and as a new player you might be wondering if this matters to you. If you haven't already watched the previous episodes, I encourage you to go back and check them out using the above link to the playlist. Okay, so does this patch matter to you? You are very far from having a Mythic rarity character after all. So maybe even tried looking at the patch notes but saw how long it was, or you didn't understand what it meant to you. Having played on a new account for the past 5 weeks in addition to my 3-year-old account, I can tell you that it does. In fact, while this new patch doesn't enable you to play with the new Mythic stuff for a long time, I'm going to be so bold as to state that the real winners are you, the new players. I will sum it up for you and try to show you the changes visually in-game. First is the player power level. Thresholds for reaching new power levels have been decreased, so you should level up faster than before. You probably realized this if you also played before the patch, as you most likely gained a level or 2 when applying any upgrade or change a weapon after the patch. Next are Requisitions, which have had an improvement. You can no longer get 5 shards from them, only 10 or better. As you can see here, there are no 5 shards. And the chances for getting 20, 40 and 80 shards have been increased. Overall output of shards have been increased by around 32% according to Snowprint. In the very beginning, you will also get less high rarity orbs, because you cannot get higher level orbs than those you have characters to use. For instance, you can no longer get epic orbs unless you have a rare character at the last ascension stage that needs epic orbs to ascend. For Lilhawk's account here, I already have someone waiting to go to legendary, hence I see all the orbs. If you're wondering where the drop probability of higher rarity orbs is when you don't satisfy the criteria, they have simply moved to lower rarity orbs. That is something that is actually detrimental for players in the long run, as you lose out on the orbs that will be the endgame bottleneck, which is legendary rarity, but it might help out players not getting stuck early in the game. This again might increase early game player retention. Another shard relevant balance change that I really wish I had before I started this new account 5 weeks ago is that the 3 mission chain you trigger immediately after unlocking a character now provides a total of 50 shards instead of 10. If we take Holland here, his first mission was triggered before the patch and hence only gives 2 shards. The next 2 would have been 3 and 5 shards respectively before the patch, while now the third mission gives 25 shards, which is shown in this mission for Isabella after I completed mission 2 after the patch. This is very helpful to speed up the progress of early rosters. If you have watched my previous episodes of this series, you will have seen that I focus a lot on the shard farming aspect of some of the base characters to not get roadblock. The most important characters that start at common and uncommon rarity, for instance Bellator, Certus, Makotep, Imospec, Alafnol and Calandis, will greatly benefit from this. I will take it as far as saying if you have played for a week or less before the patch dropped and you didn't get some super great requisition pulls in the beginning, it is worth restarting your game for this change alone. So if you look at farming, the drop chance of all shards and items from normal and mirror campaigns have been increased, either through increased base chance or increased mercy system chance, or both. The mercy system is what increases the chance of you getting the reward next time for each of the times you didn't get the reward. The effective drop rate increases from the patch notes I have posted, and you can see it here in the video. Let's take a look at some examples. Since I'm in shard farming mode these days, that's what I'll focus on, as it has improved a lot. Just looking at Bellator here. If we look what happens for the normal campaign, okay, there's one that we didn't get. For the normal campaign, it goes up by 6.67%. That was the second one we didn't get, so now it increased by 10% the next time. Let's try it again. Okay, third time that we didn't get anything. And now it doubled. So after 3 losses, you now have a 2/3 chance to get it the next time. So there we got one, and the chance goes back to 33%. For farming, mirror campaign spots are still better than normal spots, and elite still better than the mirror in general, but there are a few exceptions. My buddy and Snowprint ambassador FMG has provided me with this table to show you the most efficient nodes for different item rarities and shards after the patch. Thank you for the data and the regular help reviewing my content, FMG. I'll leave you guys to study the table on your own, as not everyone cares about these sorts of details, but I do want to highlight a few things. As drop rates have increased for normal and mirror nodes, but stayed the same for elite nodes, the 5 energy nodes for common and uncommon upgrades are now more efficient than the elite nodes per energy spent. You can find those levels between level 16 and 28 in the Indomitus campaign, which is on Immospec's page. If we take a look at one of Makotype's upgrades, you can here see that the normal campaign gives 85.71% chance of it dropping, which is the same for the Indomitus Battle 22, but in this battle we spend 1 energy less than for the Fall of Kadiak farm spot. From level 30 and onwards, everything costs 6 energy, so the elite nodes are more efficient for those again. The exception is a very small advantage of using mirror nodes for uncommon upgrades. Whether you care about the exact details or not, the increased drop rates are a very positive change for new players. When farming shards now, you should regularly have days where you get 5 shards per day, while before it was usually around 3. The number of daily attempts on the elite nodes have also been increased from 3 to 6, which becomes relevant very quickly in the game when you complete the Indomitus campaign. We're also receiving more coins for elite nodes now than we did before. The receipts for upgrades have been reworked to not be as heavily dependent on the same base component and relies more on epic and legendary crafting receipts than a lot of rare and uncommon ones. This might sound bad, but overall is a good change. This is something you should see and feel right away from the Ultramarines and Necron upgrades, especially the part where you don't need an extreme amount of the same upgrade to craft things. Uncommon and rare craftable upgrades have also had their effort to produce reduced, as you can see from this graph here. It shows the difference in energy needed to farm the materials needed to craft each of the below upgrades. Let's take a look at Bellator. The rare upgrade, Powerful Micro Generator, for instance, used to require 9 5 micro generators and 7 single power packs. So it got a lot easier to make, as you can see. Cross-campaign roadblocks should now also have been reduced, meaning you will most likely be able to farm components for your campaign characters in their own campaign. That's a winner for our beginner accounts for sure. Okay, let's talk about energy. We now get 30 energy for completing the daily mission, up from 0. The energy refresh from ads now gives 60 energy instead of 50, and in addition, Snowprint has added another refresh for 60 energy for 25 Blackstone, before the standard 100 energy for 50 Blackstone and so forth. In the Windows app, you don't have the option to have an ad, but on your phone you will have an ad option here for the first one, and then you will receive this one after that, which wasn't there before. This plot shows you the energy output per day as a function of the Blackstone spent pre and post patch. As you can see, we do get quite a bit more energy, but Snowprint also incentivizes us to spend more Blackstone with this. I, for instance, used to spend 50 plus 110 Blackstone for a total of 160 on refreshes every day, while I will now spend 25 plus 50 plus 110 for a total of 185 Blackstone every day. This might lead to me running out of Blackstone eventually, which means there could be days I can only do the 25 plus 50 Blackstone refreshes. This is still a very welcome change. One thing to note with respect to energy as well is that the daily deal now often offers 60 energy for 125 raid tickets. Be very mindful about not buying more of these than you can sustain. I think there is nothing more demoralizing in the game than to suddenly have to play campaign battles manually when farming upgrades because you ran out of raid tickets. In all honesty, I don't think a new player should buy these at all, except for a few rare occasions where you really need the extra energy to meet some milestone in another game mode. If we move on to Arena, the Arena crates have been improved and now gives no random materials, but more and higher level items and XP books. As you can see here at the end of season crate for the Sergeant League, I even get a legendary XP tome. If we move on to Salvage run, you now get Salvage and Machine of War components in all battles from this Imperial crate. The items you receive, especially from the Strongbox, have also increased in rarity on average. Overall, you get more and better stuff. If you move on to the shops, They have in general been rearranged and now give more choices through draft purchases instead of hoping for the right faction for things you buy. You can read the full patch notes for more details, but I think the most important things are as follows. The daily deals have better deals and more stock in general. For instance, the Blackstone price of badges have gone down, but unless you are whaling, you shouldn't buy them anyway. It's also possible to buy epic items for coins now, which shows up in this slot here, but you should not buy them for salvage, just if you have a character you're actively building that is needing the item. Otherwise, I fear you will run out of coins fast. Orbs and XP tomes can now mainly be bought in the guild raid shop. And as you can see, you can choose which orbs you want. From the second guild raid season after the patch is live, we will no longer be getting random orbs for killing bosses, but we will be getting a lot more raid credits to buy those orbs in the shop instead. In fact, we will get 1000 credits instead of 300. You should only buy orbs when you need them, however, and any spares you should use on XP tomes. Badges can now mainly be found in the Guild War shop, and no longer shows up in the Guild Raid shop at all. We still get badges from Onslaught though. Also, don't panic if you don't see Rotbon in the War shop. He is rotating now and will show up on some days. As a new player, you should use your Guild War credit on him until you unlock him before being tempted by other stuff. Another welcome change that isn't directly linked to the Mythic patch, but that came with it, is that Archimatos, and especially his summoning skills, have been significantly buffed. For instance, now his Bloodletters are a lot stronger than before, and on his ranged hits, he summons Blue Horrors instead of Bloodletters. This should make the Follow Cadia campaign a lot easier, and he is also much more interesting to honor in Onslaught or buy shards for with the Guild Raid credits than in his pre-patch version. I hope that made you a little bit wiser in your new journey. Please check out the rest of the Lilhawk's journey playlist to learn what to focus on and how to approach the game efficiently, and please like and subscribe to my channel. If you find my videos helpful, please consider using my friend code. This gives you 100 Blackstone and me various useful rewards as you level up. Any support is greatly appreciated. Thanks for watching, bye bye.